If you wake up in the morning and you want to change your life, bear in mind you can't create a new future while you're holding on to your past. What do I mean by that? Obviously many of us have treasured memories from the past. We're definitely not saying to let go, because those memories keep us going. Many of us have poor events or bad events from the past, and those events we keep referring to, we think about. Those events can stop us taking risks that we need to build a great future. Over the years, I developed a technique of excavating the past, looking at both the good and the bad, as an archaeologist would do, and very carefully looking for the evidence that the past has left, evidence that we've missed for many, many years. I remember when I was excavating my past, realizing that at school when I was very young, later in life, etc., I seemed to have all the traits of somebody with what's called now ADHD. I never ever realized that until I started to excavate. When I excavated, when I found out more about ADHD, which I've never been tested for, by the way, and I've got no intention of being tested for, but when I found out about it, it was like putting on a new pair of spectacles, brand new from the optician. Suddenly I had immense clarity about the past. My interpretation of my past changed instantly, for the better in my case. One thing therapists often say is you need to let go of the past. Maybe I'm unfair to therapists. What many friends and family would say is you need to let go of the past. We interpret that as an instruction, as an order. Move on, drop it. And if you can't move on, you feel guilty. But one thing I learned from the process of excavating, you can't move on from something unless you actually know what it is you're moving on from. Many things in the past, like my potential ADHD, I'd never ever looked at until it arose accidentally when I was doing this excavation process. The past isn't just one thing that you're gripping hold of. It's like the ground. There's many different layers. That's why I call it an excavation, similar to an archaeological dig. It's done very, very carefully. Most of us are standing on top of all these layers. We've never ever dug down to see what's really there. And sometimes it can be amazing. So don't just let go. Excavate it. Find out what you survived. Find out how strong you are. Find out that you're not a victim, you were a survivor. Maybe find even more of those treasured memories. Things that you never realized. When you're digging into the past and you find a treasured memory, yeah, your past can change. There's little things, little moments that you never forget, even though you've forgotten. They're in your mind somewhere, and excavation can bring them to the fore in a positive way. If you find that something in the past that is excavated is, well, not easy to deal with, something you'd rather avoid, you just keep it covered. Again, this is how careful an excavation is done. Sometimes looking back at my past, I can view that past with a richer deepness. Things that went wrong, I understand why they went wrong. I now understand what I learnt from that process. Even though the learning was terribly difficult at times, I look back now thinking how damn stupid I was. Now I understand. Back then, I was very different. Back then as a teenager, I knew everything. I never did anything wrong. I now look back and see how wrong I was. I think many people can probably relate to that. Sometimes you've buried things in the past because they hurt so much, and doing that was the right decision. But don't forget, that past it's still there somewhere, deep down. It's up to you whether you want to keep certain things buried, or whether you want to go back and unearth a little bit, carefully look around what happened, see if you can find reasons. Sometimes it can be very, very helpful. Some memories, we've not actually laid them to rest. Some memories, maybe we need to see again before we can put them to rest forever, if we want to. I find at my age, I'm now more able to look at the past, to dig the past. It's safer because it was a long time ago. And again, that helps. I can teach people from my own experiences, good and bad. That gives me a sense of meaning, of purpose, even of legacy on leaving something, memories, learnings to other people. And I think you get to an age where that becomes important. There has to be a reason to be here. I think Viktor Frankl, one of his books written before he went to the concentration camps, where he suddenly realized understanding a bit of spirituality is really important when you're searching for meaning. And I say, I did discover a lot of things, especially the ADHD. And if I hadn't tried to discover things that I'd missed in my past, I would never have known that was there. I would always remain confused as to why I did certain things, avoided certain things, messed up certain things, and also did some incredible things, adventurous things, things I will never forget in a very positive way. Saying that, it was a life which was very different to most people's lives, but I loved it. With excavation, you bring up the past, you look at it, then you choose what to do with it. You can put it back, or you can polish it, make it gleam, clean it, see what you missed. If you decide to put it back, that's not hiding the past, that's what we call governance. You've chosen to put something back. That makes common sense at times. The important thing is that you govern what stays on the surface and what goes back deep beneath you. Maybe try thinking about something you may have been walking over for years and years. Maybe a treasure, maybe something you buried. Dig, don't analyze. Excavate it. Get it up to the surface when you can finally see it and decide what to do about it. You're not letting go, you're not holding on, you're simply excavating in the same way as an archaeologist would. That's what worked for me anyway. Be very careful you don't become too introspective. You don't want to be digging deep, 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 deep until you can't get back up. Just take it very, very easily. I've been doing it now for quite a number of years and it really helped. Last year I did it quite intensely and it was a fantastic process for me. I wrote a book about it. I don't know why I wrote a book, had no intention. Suddenly I found myself writing about it and suddenly I was really embracing the past which I never knew existed. A past that was the result of me doing many interesting jobs, the result of me getting involved in peace processes around the world, and which resulted in me doing not 1 degree, not 2, not 3, but 4 university degrees, simply because of a past which in some ways was lost, was hidden, I didn't understand, and then over the years I began to understand more and more about the person that used to be me, a person very different to the one I think I am right now. Have a great day. If you want to know more, just send me a message and I'll do everything I can to help you. I say, don't go too deep, not to begin with, and if you need advice on how to do it over time, yeah, I'd love to help you and many others as well. Have a great day.